What is up, afternoon yoga? How's it going? Welcome back to your mat. Today I have an intuitive flow for us, so my favorite type of practice. We're going to be moving up, down, and all around this mat. And rather than focus so much on what's coming next, my goal for you is to drop right into your body, stay present with each pose, stay present with your experience, and just be with what is. So we'll start right away in a seat. So you can move fleshy part of your bottom aside, find your sit bones, and then just sit up tall in your spine, close down your eyes. Find a couple steady breaths. In through your nose, nice long big inhales. And maybe a couple sighs out of the mouth. Just kind of dropping into your body right away. And then making a commitment, no matter what's going on around you or inside of you, to be here and stay with it for the next 30 minutes. I know for me at home, sometimes just setting that intention, it can really go a long way. So make a little promise to yourself. And then we'll go ahead and just tuck your chin in towards your chest. Start to find some length in the back of your neck. Eventually rolling right ear to right shoulder. Tag a little bit of weight into your left elbow. So just pull that left elbow down. Keeping the eyes closed if it feels comfy in your body. Nice and slow, we'll come back to center. So the chin tucks to the chest, and then left ear, left shoulder. Tugging weight in that right elbow this time, finding length, right side of your neck. Take an inhale breath, bring it back to center. Find that tall spine. Reach both arms up and overhead, palms come together. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then down to your knees here, palms face up. So we'll do a couple rounds with the breath, just kind of moving meditation. Inhale, both arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then down to your knees, palms up. Breath in, reach your fingertips up. Breath out, hands to heart. And then down to the knees, last one together, big breath in. Exhale, hands to your heart. Rolling our way over to a tabletop. And my joints are just snap, crackle, and popping. So if it's early in your practice, give yourself the space and time. Do not let my voice rush your practice. Find what you need. Right away, we'll just start with some big circles on the wrists. So over towards the right side, you can tuck those toes behind you if you want to find that toe stretch. Sometimes I like to just kind of shift back, pick up a knee, pick up the other knee, maybe both knees at a time, push yourself back. Yeah, just kind of, again, tapping into that intuition. So what does the body need? Where are we tight? Where can we give more focused energy, more focused attention? Bring it back to center and then flip those fingertips back towards your body. Find a forearm stretch, again, pressing into the full surface area of your palm. So all 10 fingers are pressing into the mat, and then your whole palm, both sides. And flip those palms, or fingertips rather, back to the front of your mat. Crawl your hands forward, spread those palms nice and wide, tuck your toes, and then lift your hips up high and back. Find your first down dog, a couple of breaths. And just kind of moving around, pedaling it out, swaying your hips side to side when you need it. Good. Then we're going to find this kind of wave-like motion in the spine. I'm going to guide you through it, but it might be helpful to just take a peek up here at the video. As you inhale, you rise up onto tippy toes, lift your heels. Start to roll through the spine. So think cat in the spine on your way down into a plank pose. Send your heels back, plug yourself in. Roll over to that right palm, right wrist. Reach up with your left hand, find a side plank. Now both feet are on the mat. I'm on the outer edge of my right foot here, and then the sole of my left foot. Bend into the knees, push yourself back. So just find a length in the side body, pressing into that palm. The hips drop down low. They can even find the mat. You can drop them all the way down if that feels better in your body. Take an inhale breath, you stretch and lengthen out. Find that side plank. Exhale to roll it back, so left hand finds the mat. Hips go nice and high, back to down dog. Breath in through your nose. Breath out of your nose. Inhale, rise up, tippy toes, lift the heels. Exhale, your lower belly hugs in, so vacuum suck that belly button in. Roll your way through the high plank. Send your heels back, plug your wrist in. Roll over to the left side, reach your right hand high. Now just bend the knees. That's going to sink your hips down low. Maybe they find the mat, maybe they're just hovering here. Inhale, breath to lengthen it back out. Find that side body stretch. Exhale, roll it back to center. Send your hips up high and back and find down dog. We're going to take one more round each side. Inhale, rise up, tippy toes, lift your heels. Exhale, roll your way nice and slow through that high plank pose. Rolling over onto right palm, lift the left hand high. Inhale, breath, bend your knees, sink your hips down low. Exhale to lengthen out, side plank. Inhale, breath, roll it back to center. Exhale the hips high, down dog. Inhale, rise up, tippy toes, lift the heels. Exhale, roll through high plank pose. Start to shift into that left hand. Reach your right fingertips up. Inhale, breath, bend the knees, push yourself down and back. Exhale, breath, lengthen up. Roll it back to center, and then lift your hips up high and back. Find down dog, a steady breath in, and then a steady breath out. Good. Inhale, rise up on your tippy toes, lift your heels. Exhale, roll your way through that high plank last round. I know my shoulders are burning too. Exhale, breath to lower all the way down to the belly, keeping your elbows hugging in all the way down. Flip your toes. Inhale to press up, baby cobra. Lengthen out through that front body. Exhale, forehead to your mat. Inhale, press up, find tabletop. And then shift your hips all the way back. Child's pose, back of the mat. Forehead finds a resting place on the ground. Couple of breaths just to lengthen out the side body. You can find your fingertips here, so tent up on the palms, off the palms rather, onto the fingertips. And then find your breath in your little cocoon here. Inhale to press into your fingertips, lower down the palms, and then slide your way back through that tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up high and back, find downward facing dog. Take a breath in, start to crawl your feet up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. Right away, I'm going to take up some more space so the feet can go nice and wide. Bend your knees, catch your elbows, find a steady little sway from side to side. And gentle here on the hamstrings, still early in your practice, maybe early in your day on your mat. And just being gentle, noticing where you're at. Take a moment here to shake your head no, and then shake your head yes. Knowing how to say no and what to distinguish is not for us can help us have more clarity around our yes. You can let that grip go if you've got it. Heel toe your feet back to hips distance. Inhale, halfway lift. Coming up onto your fingertips here, or hands can come to shins. Just finding length here in the hamstrings either way. Lengthen your spine, so pull your shoulder blades back. Reach through the crown of your head. Exhale, your hands find the calves around your spine. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins, find that length. Exhale, catch your calves with the palms, bend the knees, tuck your chin to your chest. Good, keep that soft bend. Inhale, root to rise, both arms up and overhead, palms come together. Exhale, hands to your heart. And then down by your sides. Find a true mountain pose, so check down at those toes, check down at the feet, press into the balls of your feet, roll your shoulder blades back, lift through the crown of your head and then shine your palms towards the front of the mat. Finding activation here, lifting through the crown of your head, finding steadiness, finding some opening of that chest already so the collarbones start to spread. And inhale, breath, both arms up and overhead, palms come together. Exhale, the hips go back to dive and fold all the way down, chin to your chest. Inhale, halfway lift, find that length. Exhale, plant your palms, step, hop, jump back to a high plank. And this time we'll find that chaturanga. If you know chaturanga is not for you, then you've got a couple options. You can stay here in a high plank. So this is an inhale breath. You stay for the exhale as everyone else lowers down. And then you just flip your toes, come back with us for the inhale breath. And your up dog, exhale breath pushes you back. So we'll do that again just for good measure. Come back into that high plank. Take an inhale breath. Exhale to 90 degrees. Hugging the elbows in, flip your toes. Inhale to press up, upward facing dog. Keep the thigh bones lifting. Exhale to press back, downward facing dog. Find some power there in your chaturanga. We don't have too many of them in this 30-minute practice. So the ones that you do choose to take, have some integrity in the structure that you create. And if you fatigue and if you don't have it, build strength and just hover in that plank. Inhale your right toes up. Find a three-legged dog. Take a moment to open up that hip. Find some big circles with that right knee. Pressing into both palms evenly here. Notice where you're spilling that weight. Inhale to square off your hips, flex your right toes. Exhale to crunch knee to nose, round into your spine, make space between your shoulder blades. Inhale, press up and back, three-legged dog. Stay with me. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Keep that cat-like quality in your spine. Keep lifting up. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale to step in between your hands, top of your mat. Lower down your back knee. Squeeze your inner thighs. Inhale to rise up. Anjaneyasana. Biceps find the ears. Keep reaching with those fingertips. Take the hands, interlace behind the nape of your neck here so your thumbs can actually meet your neck. Open up the elbows, find that space within the chest. A little bit of laying back into the hands. So your hands are pressing in to your head and then your head is pressing into your hands. It's a two-way action there. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, the elbows start to hug in. Your spine starts to round. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, up and back. Open it up. Exhale to round. Last one. Inhale, open it up. Find that space. Exhale, hands find your mat. And then you can pull your hips back. Find a half splits. Right toes start to pull towards your face. So that right hip is pulling back. Your left hip is pulling forward. And then you've got space in your spine. So one of the most common things here we do is try to force the leg to be straight. And then we start to compromise. We have this rounding in the spine. Instead of that, I'd rather you keep a bend in your right knee and find that length, the lifting of the chest, the lifting of your spine. Good, take an inhale, bend your front knee. Sweep your arms up and back. Find that low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Now, tuck your back toes and then lift your back knee. Now we're in the high lunge. Reach your fingertips up towards the sky. Find that length. Exhale to sweep your arms, hover over your front knee. Pull your pinkies back together. Again, we're finding length through the crown of the head and then through the fingertips. So long spine. Keep lifting that back heel, finding your back toes. Inhale to rise back up, high crescent. Exhale, hands to your mat. Left foot meets your right, chin to your chest and fold. Soft bend in those knees. Inhale, root to rise, both arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to your heart, and then down to your sides. Breath in, reach your fingertips high. Breath out, dive and fold, take it down. Inhale, halfway lift, come up onto fingertips. Exhale, plant your palms, step, hop, or jump. Exhale, breath to lower all the way down. Flip the toes, inhale, press up, upward facing dog. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left toes up. Take a moment, open that hip, find some big circles. Finding steadiness in the breath. This is a reminder for me too. Inhale to square off your hips, flex your left toes. Building and finding that heat and the strength. Exhale, knee to your nose. Really spread those shoulder blades. Press into your palms. Inhale to kick that foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left tri. Keep hovering. Keep lifting in those hips. Inhale, up and back. Three-legged dog. Exhale, step between your hands. Slowly lower down that back knee. Squeeze up those thighs. Inhale to rise up. Hands interlace behind the nape of your neck. Find that grip, whatever feels different, whatever feels foreign in the hands. Inhale to open up with the elbows. Exhale to round. Elbows hug together. Spine rolls inwards. Inhale up and back. Open up. Exhale to round. Inhale up and back, find that space. Exhale to release. Start to slide your hips back. Coming into your version of a half splits, left side. And then again, left toes are pointing towards your face. So you have a really active left foot. The left hip pulls back and towards the center. Your right hip pulls forward. So see if you can really articulate that motion. Take your hips out and then pull them back so that you can start to feel in the body where they are in alignment. Inhale, bend into your front knee. Sweep your arms up. Find Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Tuck those back toes. Find your balance here, and then lift your back knee. Inhale, both arms up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep and hover over that front thigh. Pull your pinkies back together. Make space between the collarbones here. Inhale, right back up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to your mat. Right foot meets your left, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, root to rise, both arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Down to your sides. Find a steady breath in and a steady breath out. Noticing the spaces in between in your practice. Making space to allow for the movement to integrate into the body instead of just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. Instead, giving yourself the time and the space to process. Take a breath in. Part your lips and take an exhale out. Inhale, both arms up and overhead, palms together. Exhale, hips go back, dive and fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, find fingertips. Exhale, plant your palms. This time just step your left foot back. We'll come into that low lunge on the right side and then pivot your back heel flat. Right hand comes to your right glute, your right hip. Again, those hips love to sway out towards the right. So I want you to pull your hip back towards the back of your mat. Right hip back, your left hip's pulling forward. Thighs are magnetically glued together. Inhale to rise up, find a warrior one. Check in, gaze down at your back foot here. the first thing that back foot wants to do is internally rotate. So the pinky side edge starts to lift. I want you to really concentrate on pulling that pinky back to the mat, pressing through the knife edge, and then lifting up with your fingertips. Find that space. Take a breath in. Exhale, we bind and bow. Hands come behind your back and then lower on down. Right shoulder to your right knee. Finding your thigh on your belly here. And then eventually your chin tucks to your chest. Good, start to lead with your chest. Inhale, right back up. Release your bind, reach your fingertips high. And then we're just pivoting on the heels, turning towards the long edge, finding a star pose, eventually landing in a warrior two at the back of your mat. Take a moment here to just notice where the center of your body is in space. So a lot of times in a warrior two, we're either leaning back or we're leaning too far forward, most likely too far forward. So pull yourself back to the middle. Keep pressing into the back edge of that back foot. And then find lightness in your hands. Let the shoulder blades relax. Inhale to flip your left palm. Keep that front knee bent, the left knee bent. Inhale, up and back. Right hand finds your lower back, so just a little half bind here. Thinking about reaching up rather than crunching back. Keep lifting up, finding that space in your left side body. Exhale, left forearm to your left thigh. You're more than welcome to keep that bind. So if the hand feels comfortable behind the back, you're focusing on opening the chest, turning that chest upwards. If that's not feeling accessible, you can take your hand out from that bind and just reach your fingertips high. So finding your version, steady breath in, pulling out from your oblique here, pressing into that forearm, lifting up with the chest. An inhale breath, rise up, turn back towards the side. Toes out, heels in. Right arm under. We're sitting on down into goddess with eagle wrapped arms. So press those forearms together, reach the elbows towards the long edge of your mat, sit low. Inhale to rise up, find star pose. Turn your toes towards the long edge. So we're just pivoting onto the heels and then diving all the way down into your wide-legged fold. Not here for long. Inhale, find a halfway lift up onto peace fingers. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat into that right side low lunge. Lower down your back knee. Inhale to rise up, Anjaneyasana now. Listen here, this will be our transition through the rest of this practice. As you come out of this Anjaneyasana, to make this movement feel fluid, I want your hands to come to the mat, and at the same time, the back knee lifts. So lower down that knee again, rise back up into your Anjaney. Low lunge, the biceps are at the ears. It's an exhale breath, the hands come to your mat, you lift, and then you step the right foot back. Lower down, chaturanga, flip the toes or not. Inhale, press up. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left toes up. Exhale to step to your left thumb at the top of your mat. Pivot that back heel flat. Left hand comes to your left glute. So I'm always going to guide you into that because it has been so helpful for me to adjust my own hips, give myself more awareness and space. I really invite you to try it. The left hand comes to your glute, pull that glute back in space, tuck your hip back into its socket. The right hip starts to reach forward. And then most likely that back foot's already going to start to want to internally rotate. So I want you to press down in the knife edge of that back foot. Squeeze up between your thighs. Inhale to rise, warrior one. Keep pressing in that back foot. Exhale to bind and bow. Find those hands interlaced. Left shoulder comes down to the left knee. Lower belly here is not soft by any means, so hug everything in and under. You find integrity. Inhale to rise back up, warrior one. Turning to the side. So again, I'm pivoting on my heels, just turning that front foot, the back foot, and then landing in a warrior two at the back of the mat. You You can always take a moment in Warrior 2 to kind of wiggle in, wiggle out, see what feels comfortable. Can get sticky to just kind of land in there and then be like, it doesn't feel right. So make sure you're taking up space on your mat. Eventually bending into that right knee, reaching your arms out. And then again, just a reminder about if you're reaching forward, it's so common here. We're reaching, so pull yourself back so that you're right in the center of your body. Gaze over that right middle finger. Inhale to flip your right palm. Keep that right knee bent, left hand behind the back. Right hand reaches up. Find that space in right side body. Keep lifting up. Exhale, right forearm to your right thigh. And again, you can keep that bind. If you like it, it feels comfortable, it feels accessible, or you can take your left hand high. So pick your version, but wherever you land, we're not collapsed here in the shoulder or in the side body. So pull yourself up and out. Press that forearm, really press into your thigh. Pull yourself up and out. Maybe take your gaze towards the sky. And inhale, start to straighten out that front leg. Rise up, turn into star pose. Toes out, heels in. Left hand under this time. We'll find eagle wrapped arms and then sit low, goddess pose. Take a breath in here and a breath out. Inhale to rise up, star pose. Again, one of my biggest tips for anyone in the yoga practice is to start to learn how to pivot on your heels. So we lift all 10 toes and pivot those toes towards the long edge. Dive and fold, wide-legged fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, find fingertips. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Low lunge left side. Lower down your back knee. Inhale to rise up, Anjane, keep those toes tucked. Exhale, hands to your mat. Lift your back knee, step your left foot back. Lower down, last chaturanga, hover, hover. Flip the toes. Inhale to press up, upward facing dog. Exhale to press back, child's pose, back of your mat. Find a breath in and a breath out to land. You can start to press your way back into a tabletop. Cross your ankles back behind you and then just walk yourself back to the back of your mat. Booty finds the mat. Send your feet out long. Eventually, we're guiding ourselves onto our back. So you can plant your feet down and then just slide your bottom towards your heels. One forearm at a time. Come on down. And this is always my spiel here, but the first time we come to our backs after we flow, often there's this building of pressure at the lumbar spine, like right in your low back. So one way to automatically release that is to just take your knees from side to side. Wait for that little snap, crackle, pop. If your back's anything like mine. And when you feel like you've had that pressure released in the low back, you can hug your knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. And we'll find a happy baby. So hands can catch the outer edges of your feet. If the feet are not accessible, find the ankles. If the ankles are not accessible, find the backs of your thighs. And just make sure you're tagging some weight in the hands so you're pulling your thighs down. Same sensation. We'll solve the same problem. All we're doing here is opening up the hips. You can find a couple rocks from side to side. And eventually your feet can find the mat. And knock your knees in together. Take one hand to belly, one hand to your heart. Find a steady breath in through your nose. Part your lips and take an exhale breath. 2 more like that. Longest breath you've taken today. Inhale through your nose. Fill up the belly first. And then the rib cage. Then your chest. Part your lips and let that breath go. One more together. Big inhale through your nose. Part your lips, let the breath go. You're more than welcome to stay here. 10 more breaths is what I'd suggest. If you're closing out your practice, you can bring your hands together, thumbs to your third eye, a moment of recognition, gratitude, compassion for yourself. Breath in and an exhale. Thank yourself for your practice. From my heart to yours, until next time, peace.